everybody. I'm Erica Carlson with BRIX Real Estate. Thank you for joining me on iHeartMinneapolisHomes.com. If you want to check out my website for buying and selling needs, I'd love to have you join me there. I want to talk about what move-in ready actually means. I wouldn't be horribly surprised if you think it might mean something a little bit different than what I'm suggesting. I'm thinking you are thinking about sweeping, getting your personal things packed up, your clutter out of the way, maybe cleaning the windows, and that's getting it there, but I'm not sure that that's completely like what I mean by move-in ready. So if you are, even if you're not thinking about selling, you just want to keep your house up to date, grab a pen and paper, fill up your coffee cup, join me. Let's talk about what really move-in ready means. So again, we're talking about going beyond sweeping and clearing up our things. There is a difference between leaving the house for the next person with a laundry list of things to do and the way that they're going to feel like they need to get that house up to shape. And then there's the houses where, like, yes, they can literally just move in. They don't feel like they have that list of things to do. So I'm going to just start rattling things off that you might want to consider doing on your own house. Again, even if you're not thinking about selling. Touching up paint, finally fixing that cracked tile you've been ignoring, cleaning up the yard, putting down fresh mulch would be a good example. Replace your torn window screens, repair leaky faucets, like the loose toilet paper holders, replacing burnt out light bulbs, and especially the ones that like are hard to get to. You want to get to those finally. Get the scuffs out of the floor, shampoo your carpets, list goes on and on, right? So I'm kind of babbling here. As you live in your home, these things are naturally happening to all of us, right? There's really no way around it. But when you're putting your house up for sale, you want to kind of get it back to that newer condition, right? It's not to be perfect, but we're trying to diminish people's checklists they're making in their mind. So as they're doing that tour, they are consciously like ringing up the items, right? So I'm always picking on my pink room here. So like somebody may say to themselves, they don't like the pink. So that's like another thing they have to do, whether they're paying somebody to paint it for them or they're going to paint it. There's a cost, there's a time cost, there's a real cost. So it's like clicking in their mind. And what happens is mentally, people tend to think things are more significantly, actually more expensive than they are to do. So they're creating quite the list and they're making it really expensive. And the truth of the matter is they're going to pick somebody else's house when the list is too long or the perception is it's too much money to bother with this one. So if you're thinking about this, I have a recommendation of how to like tackle all of this. So what I would do is grab my notebook and my pen and I would go outside. I would put a new hat on. I would think about being the buyer of my home. Literally start in the front and start looking around. And I want you to start taking notes about every little project that you're now noticing if you were the buyer of this property. So I want you to go room to room, starting with that front door. I know it sounds rather corny. I understand. But doing this, you're going to start noticing things that need to be replaced, touched up, repaired, because now you have the eyes of like somebody else coming through your house. Things that you've been ignoring over time. I've had holes in my walls that I can easily ignore for years because nobody cares about the hole in the wall. I mean, it could be an easy solution like hanging up a piece of art, but when that art comes down, now there's a hole and nobody fixed it. It's not really that big of a deal, but just nobody was getting around to it. So now that you're done with your list, I want you to reprioritize everything, making notes of like what's really big, because the big stuff you want to actually tackle relatively soon. It might require hiring somebody to help take that, what if you need a new roof? You're probably going to hire a roofer or you're going to need to get a plumber. So deal with those larger items and hire out those contractors. And then maybe it's just investing time. You need to make more time in your schedule to just get that thing done. And then make a second list of things maybe that you need to buy. Again, people that you need to call to get some of these minor projects. So before I sign off, I want to just tell you that this is going to make you more money. Like, that's the bottom line here. Again, buyers really do want move-in ready. Like, do not underestimate this component. This video is actually pretty significant for getting the most amount of money on a house. That laundry list that they're doing in their mind, it's significant, and they don't talk about it. They're just doing it. It's just a mental thing they're doing as they're walking room to room. So whether the house is staged, not staged, it doesn't matter. In fact, when it's not staged, they can really see the wood floors need to be refinished, versus when you had a rug in there, they might have not noticed some of those things, or it didn't bother them because the furniture, distracts the eye. So all these minor things, as they're adding up, they're really not that big of a deal. And when you do put it on the market, again, you should make more money. As that person shopping through your house, they're thinking about where they're going to put their furniture, how much they love it, the location, bringing things to life. They're not thinking, I need to paint this room and repair this screen and bring a plumber out here. We don't actually want them to think like that when they're shopping for their next house. And then again, naturally, you make more money. So I hope this information was helpful to you, whether you're just a homeowner that's trying to keep the value of your house up. I actually had somebody say to me the other day, well, paint color doesn't change the value. Correct and incorrect. I'm going to make the argument that correct, it's just paint color. But imagine an entire house in lime green and bright oranges. So now the person has calculated $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 to hire a painter to completely neutralize the house. So yes, paint color doesn't matter, but anybody who's hired a professional painter on a 2,500 plus square foot house knows there's a cost to that. So it's not that it's paint or that they can't paint. They can do all these things. It's the perception of time and energy to even find that person that's going to do a good job, that isn't going to ruin my floor, blah, 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 blah. So no, it doesn't change the value. But think about a house that's lime green. I'm talking interior, not exterior. And they're thinking, I don't want a lime green house. So now they go to look at a different house and it's not lime green. Which house do you think they're going to purchase? Well, they're only going to buy the lime green house, I can tell you, if it's perceived as a better deal. It's a better price than the one that's already move-in ready. That would be the only way. It would have to be a nice discount. Again, more than what it would cost to actually hire a professional painter just to neutralize it. So these are the things that make it move-in ready. I hope this information was helpful. Comment below if there's any other videos or any other information about real estate I can provide for you. Thanks.